Okay, so since I've been doing a lot of the work behind the scenes in between these modules, I wanted to take just a point in time review of our metrics so far. So the last module's action items were to build your validation script for at least one persona, find that persona on LinkedIn, and then start that initial outreach to uncover new findings. That was what you were supposed to do. And if you haven't done that yet, go do some initial outreach and then come back here. So in terms of metrics, for my email marketing specialist, I had ended up sending 178 connection requests. 40 were accepted, which is 22%. By the way, more will accept every week, so that number will kind of continue to rise. I usually see it top off around 40 to 50%. I got around 10 replies, which was a 25% accept to reply ratio. And I had 3 warm leads that were inquiries from this persona, which I could then move into conversion with. Now I wanted to outreach to a new persona, this VP of marketing. So the VP of marketing, I had some additional assumptions coming in. What I was mostly trying to do was move to validation around conversion points, because for a $49 product, again, I'm not going to spend a ton of time trying to just get in the door. I want to just see, is this viable if I send this person something to respond to? So, hi, David, I'm doing research for my new startup that's focused on making email campaigns more impactful, right? Remember, because the other personas that report to this VP of marketing told me what they need to be impactful. Would you share any input on how you measure email as a company metric? If I sent you my MVP, would you be open to critiquing it to see if it's something your team would consider? Notice it's a lot more direct. Okay, so for VP of marketing, this was my first time ever reaching out to this type of persona, but I had some experience with this role already because of my exec roles at different startups. So I worked with VPs of marketing. In fact, I've worn the VP of marketing hat embedded within a couple companies. So I'm familiar with the role. I sent 25 connection requests, 4 accepted, so much lower acceptance rate. So the higher you get up in seniority, the lower that acceptance rate is going to be if the person doesn't have a connection to you. 3 inquiries, which is actually quite high. So the people that accepted my very direct message were also interested in the product. As of the time of this, I hadn't had any sales so far of it. But here's some of the replies. These are all VP of marketing. Hey, Craig, happy to review it. Then I send my embarrassing MVP. David says, hey, Craig, most important metrics are obviously around engagement. I do B2B marketing, so lead nurture. We pay as much attention to opens and clicks. I would be interested in what your company is up to. And then this person down below, hey, Craig, at the person named their company. We love startups as we've been in those shoes. That's a big question and one that needs to be broken down in a lot of different ways. Send me your MVP and let me look into it. We'll be more than happy to help. So again, these are all super viable leads. Now, my goal with these leads, I wasn't, this was an experiment and an MVP that I wanted to put into the wild. It wasn't actually to drive a lot of sales. I wouldn't actually have time to do a lot of the work if I closed the sales. I did end up closing a small amount of deal flow kind of without really trying on it. So I actually had to go and do some of the work that my product promised to do, which was totally fine. But so where I leave off is where you'll need to continue to push. But this is a conversion centric audience now, where all 3 of these are very warm, very viable leads. And what I would try to do is showcase that value, get more feedback, and potentially see if they want to just buy your service, or if you can get on a call with them and walk them through in more detail how you could actually benefit them, right? So that becomes part of the sales process. When I think about this linearly, the current state of the email marketing specialist, I look at my success criteria. The status of that has been validated. They look at email open rates, click-through rates, and other metrics. If I look at the problem persona fit, that's also been validated based on what I've heard from them. The persona has the challenge of owning these metrics. Their current solution, I still don't exactly know, but they use A/B testing platforms, return path litmus. They've got in-house learnings to learn how to become better at their job. I do think there's an opportunity for the product to be injected here, but conversion points, I still don't yet understand how to position my product to this persona in terms of getting them to buy it. Again, the VP seems to be ready to buy, But the lower level person that I started very conversationally, next up, what I'm going to need to do is focus on some of those conversion points to get them over the line. With a VP of marketing, where I ended basically was that I still don't really know what other tools and solutions they use. So we probably want to talk to some of these folks on the phone and do some customer discovery with them to understand what tools they and their teams are using to become better at their jobs. And then when it comes to conversion points, I'm still waiting. At this point, I was awaiting feedback for my product. And assuming I get some of that feedback, then I can iterate my landing pages and my value props on the website to speak their language to drive more of a conversion focus. So the next step would be to continue to learn about that current solution that they have and start to build more of these conversion focused points for at least one persona. And you follow the same process for whatever your service or product is. What the step before the sale is what you want to start to inject in front of this audience. Next up, I'm going to show you a way to kind of bypass potentially a lot of what we've done so far simply by getting people on the phone really quickly. But I thought it was really critical to cover all those steps because you really have to understand those personas. Next up, I'm going to show you how to use screener surveys to just speed things up. I'll see you there.